guys, welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to do the whole reacting to Facebook pictures. Y'all, oh my gosh, I've had Facebook for so damn long. I got it when I was like 16, 17, I think. My first year of being on Facebook, I never logged on. I think I uploaded a picture and then I was gone. And then my second year, that's when I started actually like using it. This is one of my very favorite videos to watch. I love seeing like old nostalgic photos of YouTubers, just seeing kind of like what their life was like before, what they were doing, have they always been doing this. I mean, I watched a girl's video who has basically been doing YouTube since she was really young, like 11, and she's like 18 now. So that was really interesting to see. That would be so cool if I could have been like 10, 11 years old doing YouTube and being like that consistent, or my parents having that type of drive to help me, because obviously she had the help of her parents, but still I wish my parents were that technologically inclined. So got my laptop here and we're just gonna go through some photos. Okay, let's see, how should we start? Alright, I'm just gonna go through here and just pick some random ass pictures. Alright, so this one, the first one up, oh god, this picture is actually from when I was living in Nebraska. I was 15, or I was 15, I believe. No, I was 16, whoops. And I had recently just stopped basically going to school. I had dropped out at that point, but my mom put me in homeschooling. And I was spending a lot of time on MySpace, so this girl was taking my pictures, and you can't really see it, but you can kind of see it at the bottom. You'll see there was like a white cutout at the bottom, and basically I had put my name and I had put my MySpace number, you know, the 105 blah 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 number in the picture, and I was taking it like that. Now mind y'all, I was poor. The phone that we had was a flip Cricket phone, and we were all sharing it. So I had went and got a disposable camera. I would always invest, like every month or every 2 months, I would take $10 and I would get a disposable camera. And I would get really lucky if they had like a 2 for $10 special, but most disposable cameras are like $8 or $9. So yeah, I would get that. Then I would have to pay to go get it exposed. So I would take my hair doing money to go do it, y'all. I was a mess. I was a mess. And or whatever little bit of extra money I got, and it was like $4 to go get them exposed, and I could also get the prints, and they would give me a CD, and I would take the CD, upload the photos to the computer, and that's how I got clear pictures back then. This is hilarious. Okay, the next photo up. Oh boy. So me and my girlfriend, at this point I was like 18, and me and my girlfriend, I had met her in Dallas. She used to be my sister's best friend. Well, they were cool, and then we met. And we were just downtown Plano taking pictures all over the railroad and all that stuff. I cut her out of that picture because people were saying mean things about her, and I didn't want them saying mean things about her, so yeah. Oh god, guys, these two next pictures are really embarrassing. Both of these are Christmas photos, okay? So I had 2 jobs. I was working at Macy's, and then I would take the bus to Ross, and I would work there at night. And that was like, whew, I was on my hustle. I remember that, like, specifically. I bought myself a tree. This was at my very first apartment. I only had a $30 budget, so the tree was 20 bucks. I got it at Walgreens. Then I went to the 99-cent store, and I got all my decorations, guys, for like $9. So I was really struggling that year. I was like, that was like the first time I wasn't late on rent, because I had 2 jobs and everything. Like, I couldn't even believe it. My rent was only $4.50. That was back when I lived at the Palms. I also bought myself presents at Macy's. They would give you free gift boxes. So I had bought me some really cheap stuff. I wrapped it up, and I had my sister take pictures of me unwrapping my fake gifts. So yeah, those are fake pictures, but it just reminds me of like a very simple time when I was just alone, and you know, it can always go back to that. That can always happen, but it just reminds you of where you came from, kind of, like, I don't know. Alright, next picture up. This is from a photo shoot. When I was 17, I was really serious about modeling. I was so sure I was going to become like this model and I wanted to be like a curvy high fashion model, because I always thought, like, especially when I was skinny, I was like, ooh, I have a high fashion face, and maybe they'll want thick girls or something. That's what I was thinking. And I was actually really thin there, but recently before that picture, I had just gotten rejected by like 2 modeling agencies in Houston because I was too big. My hips were like a 38 or a 39, and most girls were a 35, maybe 36. So I was like way off. But I really like that picture because I just can't believe how thin I was. Wow, that was like, I was literally 100 pounds thinner than I am now. I'm 220, I was 120 pounds in that picture. It's crazy. Okay, next up is this one. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So, wow, that's from November. That's from 8 years ago. Oh my gosh, this one. I really like this. It was just a simple one. I was in my room. I spent a lot of time alone, but I would always get dressed up and I would just walk down Westheimer Road hoping that I could meet somebody, and I would always end up meeting somebody, and I would always end up going out. I would walk down to Club Roxy when it was open. It was so poppin', and I would just get dressed up and just hope that like I would go have fun or something. Ooh, okay, here, yeah, I thought I was so sexy, like this is so funny. Basically, this was taken around the same time as like the MySpace era pictures, so a lot of these pictures came from MySpace. I don't know, I was finally starting to like try to get dressed up and look cute. Basically, I was always covering up myself, so I would never really leave the house like that, but I started leaving the house like that. This is when I was like 18 or 19, I believe. The next photo is just like a simple photo. So I was working at Red Lobster at this time. I was like 17. This was like the longest job I've ever had to this date. I was there for about 10 months. I was a day host. And then the boyfriend at the time, he owned a construction business, and after work he would always pick me up. I would hang out with him. He was the sugar daddy guy or whatever, but it was just a really good time because that was the first time I could really save money. I was having so much fun, and just like I was kind of having issues at home, but it was okay because I had my girlfriends and then I had my boyfriend, and I was literally, that time frame when I was 15 to 18 is when I had like friends and boyfriend at the same time, like an actual group of friends. But after that, all of that diminished, which is okay, whatever. The next picture is from last year. This was at my last apartment when I was living in Austin, and I was just sitting at home chilling, doing my usual. Whenever I get super bored, you know how it is, you just take pictures of yourself. That was Instagram. This next one is also Instagram. I was at my mom's house. This was 2 years ago actually. Just like sitting, hanging out at my mom's house. I took some photos, my mom, me and her that day. We took some photos together, and it was cool. I love the photos with my mom. Ooh, okay, so this is what I miss being this size. This size, I was like 70 pounds lighter. I was like, you know, the 150s or whatever. And I had, oh my god, y'all, this was, let me see what date was this uploaded, because I can tell you a lot based on each date. Okay, oh, well, I uploaded these way late, okay? So literally, okay, I took these pictures in like July. This was after I went to jail. No, this was after the incident happened that landed me there. But yeah, I was fresh off of a breakup. Me and him, we were going back and forth, so I just started losing weight to like get my mind off of him and everything. And I was just feeling really good about myself. I had found my foundation match at Target. They had just came out with my shade. I had just bought my very first MacBook, so I was using the cam. I had been using a Sony Vaio for like years, and yeah, I was just basically playing with the camera. That's why it's so blurry on my MacBook. And I had recorded my very first YouTube video this day. If you guys, I don't even want you guys to go back and look at my very first YouTube video, Like if you go look at it, you're gonna see I have on this exact outfit, and God, it's a mess. But yeah, I had on this thong, and I was wearing this bikini, and I was just feeling myself. Yeah, I was literally just, it's crazy what happened. Do you think you're gonna, like at that time I was thinking I was gonna get my man back. You know, he was not trying to have it. The next photo is literally from the same day, different angle, different lighting and all that, and I'm just hanging out, just kind of feeling myself once again. I never would take pictures, so all of these pictures are literally from like a 13-year span, which is crazy. Because a lot of my pictures are very similar, because once I would get dressed, I would take a bunch of pictures, and then I wouldn't take pictures for months. And that's literally how I am now. It takes a lot for me to take a picture of myself. Alright, this picture, I had found this bikini for $2 at the 99-cent store. I went and I put the bikini on, and I was just feeling good. I had just arched my eyebrows that day. It was nothing that big. I had just glued in my weave, and you know, I was just like, ooh, I've been drinking so much water, like I'm 19. Let's see, what year is that one? That 2011. Oh, that's 2013. I uploaded that. Oh no, this picture is literally from like 2011, but I just took forever to post it. Sometimes I would go through, I had finally, when I got my sugar daddy guy, I had bought me a pink camera. It's a Casio, and I still have it. So I had memory cards, and I would go back and I would look at my memory cards, and I would just upload old videos and old photos from there. So yeah. Alright guys, we are nearing the end of this. Oh my goodness, let's see. Okay, here. I had just gotten out of a study. Let's see, depending on what date. Yep, I had just gotten out. No, this was right before I went into the study. So this was like, yeah, I uploaded that February 24th. I went into the study about 15 days later. That was my very first large paying one that I did at PPD that paid me $7,000. Such a good time to be alive. And I blew that money, my God. So this one is from when I was working at Macy's. One day I was just there and I just tried on a blue dress, and I thought I looked really cute in it, so I took a picture. I really love red, like a blue red and then a royal blue. I love those colors. Okay, next. Oh God. So do you guys remember Tumblr? I still go on Tumblr though. I love Tumblr. This was back in the Tumblr days when people would have, like, they always had a DSLR. I would see all these girls with these DSLRs, and I was like, fuck, I really need to get one. I really want to be Tumblr famous, just like I wanted to be MySpace famous, and I'm gonna take all these pictures and I'm gonna invest in a really good camera, blah blah blah. Okay, did not happen for me whatsoever. I would try to see how these girls put those galaxy backgrounds. Oh my gosh, you guys remember they would have like the galaxy kitties, and everybody was wearing those wedge platforms from Jeffrey Campbell, that era, circa that time. And this was back when Beauty Crush, who's Samantha Maria right now, she was going viral for her pictures on Tumblr. You know, people like that. Like, Tumblr is basically where all the YouTubers came from. Like, almost every YouTuber I know that's really popular was a Tumblr girl. Yeah, I wanted to be really popular, so I got on Tumblr and it just didn't work. I ended up buying myself the Nikon D3000. I had no idea that it didn't have video recording on it, and I was pissed. I was really pissed because I had spent like $400 on that camera, and especially at the time when I was 19, for it not to even have video capability, I was just like, oh, this is some bullshit. And yeah, I spent some of my Pell Grant money from school. Next, I didn't have a place to stay. I had just left my first apartment. Boyfriend threw me out on the street at the time, and I was staying at my mom's friend's house at the time. It was just a horrible time, but I would take pictures of myself because, I don't know, if I felt good that day, I would just take pictures. And also, I had just gotten my very first, like, real phone by myself. Well, not really. I had always had Metro PCS phones, but this was my very first iPhone. It was the iPhone 4. Okay, and I love that two-piece from Urban Outfitters. No, I was not pregnant there. I just had a little pooch. This was when I had started gaining weight, and then I lost it again. All right, this is New Year's. I was staying at my boyfriend's house, and I went to his next door neighbor's house, and I asked her, could you take pictures of me? And she was so excited to do it. She had always been asking me to take pictures of me. So finally I was like, okay, fine, I have a camera, you can take pictures of me. So that New Year's we went out, and I was turned because my gut was really sticking out. And but yeah, that booty though, y'all, the booty is still there. Like, don't get it twisted, y'all. Here's another photo. I was just wearing some sunglasses, guys. It's nothing special. I just miss those days when your skin was just so good. You really did not need makeup, like, just so good. Here's me and that girl again. Me and her, oh my gosh, we had gotten into so many fights, me and her. But this girl, if you go on my vlog channel, me and her, we had my very first video on my vlog channel is me and her going out. And then that's where the photos of us from the train station originated after that. So this picture in particular, we're kind of jumping dates. So she had an iPod Touch. She came to come visit me from Dallas at my very first apartment, and I had never used a camera that I could easily access photos from. So access photos from. So I used her iPod Touch, and I sent all the pictures to my email, and then I uploaded them. I was really excited. It's a big deal. Like, that was a big deal back then. So yeah, I'm still using her iPod Touch to take more pictures. Here was a hostel. At one point when I was in Houston, I didn't have anywhere to live. This was right before I moved into my very first apartment. I was in between moving from Dallas. I hated it there. And I stayed at a hostel, and I met a bunch of foreign people. I had no idea what a hostel was. I thought I was so scared of them because of the movies and stuff, but it turned out to be a really great experience. This is my high school picture, guys. Oh God. I was like sophomore year. I don't even know what to say about the people. I don't even want to say anything, but yeah, it was interesting. The people in that photo are very, very interesting. One girl, I fucking hated her because she was just a bitch. She was so fake. She had like ended up like really flirting with my boyfriend, and she let him suck on her boobs. He wasn't my boyfriend, but he was a guy I was talking to. She was just a disrespectful ass bitch. This photo is from 2000, was taken in 2013. I was dating this guy, and I did not really want to meet his friends, but he was one of those guys who, like, everything goes what he says. So I tried to make him happy, and I went to 6th Street, and we went to Barbella's, and I took a picture with his friend. We took a bunch of pictures that night, but it was a really fun night though. I had a lot of fun. They loved me, but I don't know, you know, it was just a fun night. Next, here's me in braids when I was back in Austin. I had my crazy Nigerian lady roommate, but I love those braids. She did my braids for me actually, but I didn't like how she did the front, so me and my mom went and we redid the front. She pissed me off. Here I had cut my hair. What year is that? Like 2012 or something, yeah. So I had just like, I felt like I had a lot of dead hair, and the new hair that was growing in was much more stronger, so I cut it. There's me and her again. This is the same night from the white dress. Me and her, we had just gotten dressed and we went out, and there I met this boyfriend who was like the biggest mistake in my life when I went out that night. My God, I could have done so much better. And this is just another photo of me and her going out that night. I never knew how good my shape was until I wore this black dress. It, like, somebody thought it was photoshopped. I kid you not. Even to this day, I have like a really big dip in my back, and I was so skinny, so toned. Like I said, guys, I was like 130 pounds in that photo. I mean, yeah, and so I was really thin, and my butt's actually not that big, but the dip in the back makes it look really big, because if there was no dip, it wouldn't really look like anything. And last but not least is my picture going to jail that night. Well, I went the next day, basically got dressed, went to my friend's house. She had a house party. Afterwards, I met some friends, some people there, and we all went out. I got super drunk, super wasted. I ended up punching this guy because I didn't even mention that in the story time, guys, but this guy who I'm cool with now, he had took his penis out and he kept trying to have sex with me, and it was limp. We were both drunk and we had a slow motion fight. Well, basically he was going like this trying to be on me, and my fingers were numb, my face was numb. I was so drunk that I was just numb. My whole body was numb. I don't know what I drank, but yeah, I just ended up punching him like a bunch of times, just punching him. And then people were taking pictures of me, and the dress that I was wearing, like my underboobs, I'm pretty sure they probably got some 3D shots. I don't know, but guys, that was a wild, sweaty night. I really shouldn't even try to leave for Houston the next day. I should have just slept it in, like slept it off, just everything. Anyway, I ended up sleeping in my car that night. It was a crazy night. Crazy night. Okay guys, thank you so much for sitting through this video, letting me explain all these crazy photos to you. If y'all have any more video ideas, let me know. Alright, I love you guys so much. Thank you. Bye.